Metokur's stream is going to be interesting because I predict everything of what talking points he's going to try to say and what he's going to talk about, what he's going to do, and what he's not going to do. He's most likely going to talk about how Trump has improved our government, how ICE is deporting a bunch of illegals and including legal people, even though there's still millions of illegals in our country, and it's nothing compared to even what Biden did. Sadly, Biden did more to stop illegals than Trump has. Trump has made it to where any form of immigration or illegal immigration looks based and cool to a foreigner. To just say fuck you, Trump. He won't talk about it with the super chats. What do I mean by this? I mean his super chats that bring up how Trump has barely deported anybody. If he does bring them up, he'll call them Nick Fuentes catboys or freaks or whatever, pedophiles or some insult that he would try to use, or that he just won't read them because he won't read super chats that are critical of him potentially scamming his audience, trying to pretend that he's still sick, even though after all this time he had to outright admit that, yeah, I'm not dying now because they found out what I had, and the only thing he has is a heart issue because of the heart damage that happened to him with the heart attacks. But at the end of the day, he may live to his 60s. So another 15 to 20 years. He will bring up Charlie Kirk and the woman who got killed. I don't know her name on the top of my tongue, so he's going to compare it to how people made fun of Charlie Kirk. And he's going to say, she deserved it. Well, he didn't. He won't show the video of the man clearly not being endangered by the car, not being hit by the car. And he may even show the fake image that's been proven, even within community notes, showing that it was fake. And the cop was nowhere near danger, and just took out his frustrations out on a woman that had a 6-year-old kid. And he's going to say that people deserve to make fun of this. People should make fun of this woman. And he's going to call out people who try to dox the individual who murdered her, knowing that you complained for years, Jim, about Antifa covering their faces. You also are a big advocate for Kiwi Farms, a site known to dox people. Even I seen on Twitter, Noah was trying to say, look, people are doxing this individual. People should never complain about Kiwi Farms. The difference is, no, people don't fucking try to swat people constantly. Innocent people. That's what your site does. It's meant to swat people. You put out the information, then your users go on Reddit or Discord to try to make swatting campaigns. And Metokur defends it. He defends the swatting, including himself. Because the reason why he got swatted in the first place, because his information was only on Kiwi Farms. Because every website would delete that if you ask him. If Jim, because he has an audience and has that growth with his being well known on the internet, he could just talk to anybody. And he would take it off Twitter would take it off, Facebook, any other website would take it off. You won't, Josh. And that's what made him get swatted 3 to 4 times. Drink some coffee. He's going to try to say the comparisons for Charlie Kirk and this woman, it's completely justified, saying that she deserves to be made fun of. Charlie Kirk was an innocent man. He won't bring up how his wife, Erica Kirk, lost her kids recently. This is like a few hours ago as I make this video. They were given to Charlie Kirk's parents. So they won't be able to see her mom again because she was such a bad mother. Right after Charlie Kirk died, you know what this fucking bitch does? Instead of mourn the loss of her husband, mourn the loss of her children's father, instead, she makes a mockery and a WWE style event for his death. Something where if I was in that same situation, I would quit social media in general. I would want to stay away from the media. And the reason why she acts this way, because like most neocons, their marriages tend to be shams. It's fake. It's performative. It's just bullshit. It's to seem like they're a normal couple in the eyes of the propaganda they spew out. So they can make sure that since they talk about neocon or conservative ideas, they have to look the part. They are the modern day arranged marriage, where they probably hated each other, and there's a possibility that one of those kids, or even both those kids, are not even his kids. The kids. So he could be not even the father of those children. Those marriages are usually like that. They're usually fake, disingenuous, and just overall awful. There's no care, there's no actual love, there's no feelings towards each other. They just marry each other so they can play the part. Would Metokur talk about this? No. And if he does, he would talk about 1 second, then skip it. He's going to talk about Tim Walz, how he's a crook, how he's a criminal, how the state of Minnesota is a shithole. Even though, by the way, for years he's been living in Minnesota, and he can move any day now to another state. But he refuses to. He knows that Minnesota, it's just that good. Houses are there are quite cheap for where it is. Wages there are very good. Employment is very good. Quality of life, it's very good. And you can say, well, how about the immigrants? You know, immigrants, like any group of people, go for the best places to go to. And where's the best places? The West Coast and the northern states. Why do you think all the black people, most of them, live in southern states? You can say, well, how about Chicago? Now look at South Side, yes. Go outside South Side, you don't see that. Northern states are just better. And that's why he can bitch and moan all the fucking time about the issues with Minnesota and the quote-unquote corruption. But he will never move out from there. He's going to bring up Nick Shirley's documentary, saying that this is informative, this man needs a medal, he is exposing the truth about the corruption, the disgusting Somalians, and all this bullshit that he wants to spew out from a talking point from a propagandist. By the way, Nick Shirley is an Israeli propagandist. And most likely a Russian propagandist, which they could be both, because Russia and Israel, outside the United States, are the closest out of any group. Remember, a lot of Ashkenazi Jews are Russian Jews. They respect Russia. They hate Ukraine. Many Israelis, once the war started, went to Russia to help their motherland. If not their motherland of Russia, the motherland of Israel. Would Jim talk about that? No. He would ignore it. The documentary doesn't bring up the fact that this has been talked about 4 years ago. And I remember seeing the news about it. How people exploited the COVID subsidies that was given in northern states so they wouldn't go out of business. And especially with healthcare workers. He won't bring up the fact that Nick Shirley has been proven to be a pathological liar and a fraud. He won't bring up how when he went to those doors that he couldn't open, they were closed at the time. And even some days, those were in the holidays, when places like that are closed. He won't bring that up. He would try to dispel the people putting out actual facts about Nick Shirley, showing that he's a propagandist, a shill, a complete grifting scumbag. And even now, later, with Nick Shirley doing newer videos, he's wearing t-shirts of Parley Market, trying to shill for some betting company. Because he realized once people found out he was a fraud, he went to the different grift. He's a scumbag. And Metokur is going to call him the best person ever. This kid, this genius. Knowing that he shielded for Israel. He shielded for Russia. He shielded for Trump. But Metokur won't care. And he won't talk about it in super chats. He's going to call Tim Watts a criminal. He's going to say what Tim Watts did with resigning for the next election to being the governor of Minnesota to be perfect. To be outright perfect. That he doesn't deserve to run for mayor or governor. Knowing that the next person is most likely going to win is another Democrat. Because how much that one guy, that one ICE officer has ruined the town. And it's made it where even southern states, like in Texas, it's having a protest everywhere. That's causing riots. And people say it's George Floyd. Motherfucker. I don't think George Floyd was innocent. I think he was a scumbag drughead. What people were protesting wasn't the fact that he was a criminal and he shouldn't be charged. It's knowing that a cop can do anything to you. To put your neck on somebody's neck. Put your leg on somebody's neck, their knee on somebody's neck. To anybody. Cops are known in America to do excessive force. That's just known. Now, what's gonna happen with this one? There's gonna be more violence. There's most likely going to be riots. And eventually somebody's going to take more frustrations out on ICE. That's not me saying that should happen, but that's just what's going to happen because the the ICE agents are clearly not trained. And they're clearly just scummy. But will Metokur show the video? Will Metokur show the video? And I'm not talking about the uncensored version. I'm talking about like a censored version where, you know, they'll, as soon as he gets shot, right before they get shot, it blanks out or just blurs it. Will he show that? Will he show the actual real video and not show the AI generated photo that was proven to be fake, showing that she didn't hit anybody? No, he won't. He's too afraid of that. Will he acknowledge people who criticize him for this, knowing that there's a lot of people, even within the conservative sphere, they know that this is fucking scummy. Knowing that, do you want to die on this hill? Do you want to die on a guy that thought this woman was a threat? Oh, well, they were using a vehicle for he was nowhere near the front of the car. You are fucking pathetic if you have to use your gun like that on somebody who's not even near your body. On a woman. Someone that you can easily overpower. Knowing that if she was one to be hostile, where's her guns? She didn't have any guns. And then you have these other people who defend the shit you see right now. You see that one person, some of you people have seen it, where it's like some guy praising the guy who shot this woman, who says that all you anti-ICE people deserve what you get. Knowing that he's going to have to watch his mouth because somebody's going to deal with him if he keeps saying that. He's going to fuck around and find out. He wants to have violence, then he's going to get violence. That's not me calling for violence, but that's him saying that if he wants violence, he's going to make violence onto himself. These people, I find to be disgusting. And Metokur is going to praise the ICE police, the people that are not even doing their jobs correctly, making people who actually are criminals look better, knowing that you could easily do more tactical ways to get rid of illegals and even people that shouldn't be here, even if they are legal. Knowing that Donald Trump wants people like people from India and China, people who are far worse than a Mexican who can't do any better than to work a fucking gardening store or a fucking minimum wage job. And that's even if he can get it, because if they ask for paperwork, he's fucked or she's fucked. But in H-1B, they can immediately get a job because we still have the diversity quotas. But will he read the super chats of people calling him out on this shit? No. Because he doesn't care about free speech. He cares about the boot that he licks. Of the boot of Israel and the boot of Trumpism. What's going to happen? Well, he's just going to do the same shit he did last stream. He's going to try to fake his emotions. He may even try to force himself to cry again like he did with Charlie Kirk. He may even bring up, I'm dying. Even though he outright admits that he may not be dying. And all these people are going to give him money, knowing that he should read the super chats that are critical of what he says. He won't. He has curated them. He has made sure to look at them before. So if he sees anybody that's critical towards him, he won't read it out. He picks his super chats. That's my prediction. That's what's going to happen. He's going to pretend that he's so worried about America, but yet he will defend this fucking bootlicking mentality. He would defend a fucking cop, well, not even cop, an ICE agent, for using his authority to abuse somebody. And he would think it'd be justified, and he would try to show fake media, knowing that anybody with a brain would know you don't do that. That's excessive force. But he doesn't care. And at the end of the stream, he's going to read all the super chats as much as he can before he gets off. Of course, it will only be positive chats. It won't be critical chats of him or of what's going on with the ICE agents or what's going on in Venezuela, which I actually agree that's a good thing. But by the way, that's a neocon's perspective. That's a neocon talking point if you believe that what we're doing in Venezuela is good. That's what the neocons did in the Middle East. The difference is, these are not Middle Easterns. These are Catholic Hispanics. So they will conform to us. But that's my predictions of what's going to happen on the stream. It's just going to be a nothing burger. It's going to be a massive bootlicking parade of Trump bootlicking. And Metokur refuses to be critical of the shit that's happened. There has been good stuff. He may talk about the stuff with Iran, saying that yes, they need a regime change, because they do. He may actually be finally critical of Russia after all these years, after all the white people they killed. But he may skip over that. But that's probably the only predictable things I could say outside the 3 main talking points he may talk about. And that's how he's going to use his talking points. He won't have a personal opinion. He won't have anything critical to say about Trump, JD Vance, or anything that's going on with the ICE protest, or anything like that. Or him bootlicking Nick Shirley, a con artist. But that's all I have to say. See ya.